What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, AthleteX.com. Jesse, he's back. I know you've been waiting for him. Today we want to cover the chest. So we've had our hard gainer edition or our hard gainer series here. Today it's about exercise tips when you're training your chest, particularly as a hard gainer. And this guy's starting to, he's getting over the moniker now. He's actually starting to become a gainer, as you can too. But today I want to show you some of those key tips that you can apply when you're training your chest that's going to help you out, all right? We're going to break it down into 3 parts. The first place we're starting is the pull-up bar. Okay, yes, I said pull-up bar because, again, we're following suit with what we talked about before regarding hard gainers. One of your biggest problems is going to always be activation. Remember, the first time you've ever did a dumbbell bench press or a barbell bench press, you don't even know where the weight is in space. You're doing your dumbbells and they're kind of floating around. Right. People tell you to bring them up together. You never really hit them in the same spot. That's a proprioception issue. But there's also a muscle awareness issue. And one of the key points, whenever you are going to press, and we're going to have to press if we're going to build your chest, is you got to be able to press with the chest and not the shoulders. And we cover this in a video for our more advanced guys, but you can see it's integral to what we do, and it's very important that you start now. So what I have Jesse do, and what I'm recommending you do, is start off with some scap pulls on a pull-up bar, on chest day, believe it or not. And he's just basically trying to do a pull-up without moving his arms, without bending his arms. And he gets up there and holds it for a couple seconds. And the point here is we're trying to activate his lower traps, get to the ability to be able to control the scapula, pull it down, and hold it there. I'll show you why it's important in a second. A couple more. So I'd have him do just a couple sets of this, right? 6, 7, 8 of them, held for a couple seconds each. Now, come on down. We talk about you want to ingrain it right away with what you're actually going to do, and that's with actually pressing. So when we press, what we do wrong a lot of times as hard gainers is we press and we lead with our shoulder, and we let our arm do the pressing. So let's show what that looks like. As we press, the arms are doing the pressing, especially as you're trying to use maybe heavier weights than you should. You're pressing, you're letting the arm lead the way. That's not what you want to do. You want to let your chest lead the way. So the arms have to stay back. The only way the arms can stay back, the shoulders can stay back, is by having an awareness of those muscles on the back side that you just hopefully woke up a little bit and made aware that they're going to need to work. Exactly. So now let's see with the scap pull downs. Yeah, pull downs. So here you press out and you lead with the chest. So this is doing the contraction. This is staying back. Okay, so pressing that way. In, as hard as you can, press. There you go. So I have him do some presses standing up in the air, just like that. And you can see even his posture is improving because we're working on these things. Now, we take it over to the bench press. Okay, so the bench press is not an exercise that you want to avoid at any level, especially as a hard gainer, because it's going to help you to start building more of that size. But you got to do one thing for me. Jesse, you got to do one thing for me too, and you've been doing one thing for me, and that is you got to get over the small plate phobia. See, there's nothing worse than heading to the gym and then getting ready to bench press, and maybe all you can do is this on the end of the bar, because you do anything to have people be able to see that big 45-pounder on the outside, so that even if that girl's staring at you at the other side of the gym, at least she sees 145. She can imagine that there's 2 or 3 stacked on the inside of it. But you just want to get to the point where you can do the bigger plates. The biggest mistake is people doing that and not being able, they're monkey fucking the plates in the bar and they can't get any good reps out. You're defeating the entire purpose, and that is why your chest isn't growing. So you have to start with a weight that you can control, but there is a way that you can incorporate heavier weights, okay? And it's actually going to be necessary for neurologically waking up your muscles a little bit to help them feel more comfortable and confident in handling heavier weights. So what we do is we take the pins and we set them up high, okay? I'm not concerned about depth. I'm not concerned about anything. What I want to do here is get a weight that I'm going to adjust here by 20% from what Jesse's going to work with. So if he's working with 115, what we'll do is we'll get him up to 135. Again, a weight that he's not going to try to lift because he's not going to be able to do it so well since he's just starting out. But instead, what I want him to do is get comfortable with the weight in his hands. Okay, a touch up. So we get in here, and all I want him to do is unrack it, okay? So for a few times, he's just going to unrack and get it up over his chest. He adheres to the same principles of the press. Just up nice, holds it for a couple seconds, brings it back down. Okay, again, a weight that he's not necessarily comfortable repping out with. Do another one. And he starts to feel more confident with the weight. Okay, put it down. Now, after doing a couple of the unpinnings here, now what he has to do is do one set, and I don't care how, again, with the pins nice and high, I don't care how many reps he winds up doing. When he winds up failing, he comfortably is going to come down to the pins. Eccentrically feel the weight all the way down. Get comfortable feeling what that weight feels like. Come on down. So now he's going to lift up. Get some position here. Go ahead. And press up. There you go. Nice. All the way. Down slow. There. Okay, press, 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 down slow. Good. So that's all he has to do is do a rep or two or whatever it is to feel comfortable with that weight, and then we're going to go into his working weight. So now what I do is take his working weight, which is now instantly going to feel lighter. Because neurologically, he's commanded the weight that was heavier. He's convinced himself that he can handle it. Maybe he's not capable of handling it for full sets and reps, but in a confidence, from a confidence standpoint, he can handle it. So now we get in here, and now we do our working sets with this weight, which it could be, again, in the 6 to 8 rep range. We're trying to build strength here. But it's a weight now that's 20% less than what he just did, and neurologically he's turned himself on. That's it. I won't make you do the whole set. Just do one more. And, you know, it even feels a bit light from, go ahead, come on up. Like the same way that a baseball player who would swing a donut on the end of a baseball bat would then go to the baseball bat itself. He's sort of neurologically turned that on. All right, we got one more step here. Again, critical for getting hard gainers to start unlocking more size. Okay, last thing, now we're on a dip. Okay, now what we want to make sure that you know how to do, and we can do this easily with the dip, is not just train to failure, but to learn how to take and train through failure. And we talked about that again. As a hard gainer, we tend to not understand what our true limits are, and that usually holds us back. So on this exercise, we can train him to failure and then through failure by just using a band. You can put a ball inside of the physio ball and push it inside of this captain's chair setup, but you just take a band, press it down here, and you let it hang right in front of you. Now what Jesse's going to do, he's going to dip, and then as soon as he reaches failure, where he would normally jump off the bar, we're going to teach him there's more that you can do. There's a drop set that you can do. You can actually extend failure, take it to failure again via this band assisted dip, okay?
So just putting my knees on there.
Just putting your knees on there. So go ahead, and we're going to keep them behind the band at first. Okay, adhering to all the proper principles of the dip. Shoulders stay back. He leads again with the chest. He's squeezing here from the chest. Okay, he's not shrugging his shoulders. We covered this in a lot of other videos. Okay, keep going. I want to see you go all the way to failure here. All right, one more if you're there. Okay, now put the knees right in. Get inside there. Now you're going to go down and rep them out. We just took 60 pounds off of his body weight. Adhere to the same principles. Push all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Get up, 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 up. Okay, good, and down. So it could be another rep or 2 or 3. But those are the productive reps, because those are when he's most fatigued. Those are when he would have quit and he would have left them on the table. And as a hard gainer, we need to activate. We need to learn ways to feel heavier weight so we can get more confident in it. And then we need to figure out ways that we can take it through our limits. These right here apply to this chest workout. We've got others in this series. Jesse, show him some love. He actually is becoming bigger and bigger by the day. And the fact is, he's working his ass off to do it, and I'm proud of him, and I think you guys can do the same thing. So if you're looking for a program that puts the science back in strength, gives you the right approaches and strategies that make sense and are backed in science to get there, that's all over at AthleteNext.com or AthleteNext Training System. In the meantime, if you like these videos, if you want to see more of the Hard Gainer series, leave a comment, thumbs up below, and I'll make sure we bring more to you. All right, guys. See you soon.